Anne was once the epitome of a loving daughter, always the one to organize family gatherings, check in on her parents regularly, and keep the connection with her siblings strong. As the youngest of three, Anne was the spark that kept the familial ties warm and unbroken. The yearly family barbecues at the old cottage by the lake, the holiday traditions filled with laughter and love, and the birthday celebrations she never missed. It was a small family woven tightly together by Anne's dedication to her loved ones. But as Anne's 50th birthday approached, a new chapter began. It started subtly. Anne, who was once frequently sharing her joys and struggles with her family, had begun speaking less and less about herself. It seemed that her life was shifting and, by all appearances, there was a new excitement in her world. Then he arrived, Jonathan, a charismatic man who entered Anne's life like a whirlwind. He was charming, articulate, and immediately commanded attention with his broad gestures and captivating stories. At first, Anne's family was thrilled to see her so happy. They saw Jonathan as a wonderful addition, someone who could perhaps bring something new to the family dynamics. But as the months wore on, things began to change. Jonathan exhibited a keen interest only in what concerned him. The conversation during family dinners would inevitably drift back to Jonathan, his thoughts, his achievements, and what he wanted. Slowly, Anne's voice began to change. The once bright and open daughter was sharing less about her life while adopting Jonathan's views and opinions as her own. Family gatherings started feeling different. The warmth that Anne had once spread seemed to be overshadowed by something else. Anne seemed less herself and more a reflection of the man who had come to occupy a significant space in her life. Her siblings and parents watched the transformation with a growing sense of loss. Anne had always been their beacon, the central piece in their puzzle, and now that piece felt altered and unfamiliar. It wasn't long before the invitations started dwindling. Anne stopped hosting her famous gatherings, and the video calls that she loved so much became erratic and hurried. Concerned, her mother made several attempts to broach the topic gently, but Anne dismissed them, saying she was busy or tired. It became clear that the new chapter in Anne's life was one dominated by Jonathan's presence. As his influence grew, so did Anne's distance from her family. Her siblings felt the growing chasm acutely when their calls and messages went unanswered. Jonathan's ambitions and self-focus seemed to absorb Anne wholly. She was consumed by a life where she could no longer see herself as an individual part of a larger family unit, but rather as an extension of him. At Thanksgiving, the time when Anne's presence was almost ceremonial, her absence was echoed in the quiet unease that settled at the dinner table. The family tried to continue the traditions she had cherished, but the void she left seemed too vast to fill. Anne's family struggled to understand what had changed their loving daughter into a distant stranger.